Hey, it's Tony with lidl.doodle. Thanks for stopping by my channel. In today's video, I am going to talk about beginner fountain pens and starting a fountain pen hobby. The first pen that I am going to share is a super fun and cute pen. It is the Jinhao Shark. And this would be a great pen for maybe an elementary school kiddo, or I've even given them to my high schoolers and they love them. They're so cute. They come in a lot of different colors. This is a blue metallic that I got off Goulet. I've seen these on Amazon, and they only come, to my knowledge, in extra fine. So this is not a fountain pen that I use often because I am more of a medium to broad nib writer. The ink I have in this is Diamine Celadon Cat, so you can see I enjoy matching my pen to, or my ink to my pen. But it's a pretty good writer. It can be a little bit scratchy as an extra fine you would expect. But if you are a fan of extra fine nibs, this is a sturdy little plastic pen, and it comes with a cartridge converter so you can use your own ink, and it's real easy. And what is most appealing about it is this pen was $4. So if for some reason you bought it, didn't like it, you're out $4. You could give it to somebody, or if you gave it to your fourth grader and they lost it, wouldn't be the end of the world. So that is the Jinhao Shark, and it's pretty popular among starting the fountain pen hobby because it's just a fun, cheap option. The next pen that gets a lot of attention is the Platinum Preppy. And these come in extra fine, fine, and medium. So it goes 0.02, 0.03, and 0.05. This is a 0.03. It's filled with its own cartridge. So it comes with its own cartridge. Now, I think you can do what's called eyedroppering, and that is if you get a little rubber gasket and you stick it around right under here, you can fill the barrel with ink, and then it would stay nice and tight. I think. I have never eyedroppered a pen, but as a side note, if you ever hear the term eyedropper, that's what that means. So this Platinum Preppy, it is a fine, and it writes, in my opinion, smoother than the Jinhao Shark. I would use this, probably not as a daily writer, but I might throw it like in my purse or somewhere, you know, that I would grab it, maybe in my pen bag or something like that. And this runs about $6. They have pretty basic colors: blue, black, green, red, purple are the ones that I've seen. I've seen them on Amazon. Most of your pen retailers will carry these. Our little stationery store over in Portland that we go to carries these. So this is a really good starter pen. In fact, I had a colleague at work who needed a pen, and I handed him my blue Platinum Preppy. And he was so impressed, and he was like, "Oh, I like this." I said, "Well, keep it." And then I ended up, he needed some extra cartridges, so I happened to be at the stationery store. I bought him some extra cartridges, and then before I knew it, he was asking me about next level pens, and he bought his first Twisb. So I was so proud of him. Okay, so the next pen I have is a popular one, but it's not one that I use very often. This is the Pilotkakuno. And people love these. And they come, oh, it's not a twist. They come in a handful of colors. This is like the translucent yellow. And what people really like about them is, if you can see if it will get on camera, on the nib there is a little face. And each color has a different face etched into it. And of course it would be the green one that has the weird face that has the pacifier in it. Like, really weird. Yeah. So the other faces that are etched in there are really cute, but this one has a creepy little baby pacifier thing. Anyway, so this comes in fine and medium to my knowledge. This particular one is a fine. So again, this is the Pilotkakuno, and I have it in a fine. This is a little scratchier than I like to use. So this will be something that like my husband would use, or that I would let my daughter use, or that I would even let my students play with. I have it filled with Ferris Wheel Press Frivolous Lime, and it's a pretty light ink for this pen, but because it's a fine, I didn't want to put any sparkle or shimmer anything into this. And the Pilotkakuno goes for about $14. So now, you know, we are getting up there just a little bit in price with a starter pen. And then the last pen that I'm going to show you that I have here with me is a Twsbi Swipe. So the Twsbi Swipe is I think it's a good alternative if you are not a fan of the Eco. I'm a huge fan of the Eco, so I have plenty of those. I only have one Twsbi Swipe, but it's a nice pen. I have it in a medium nib, and it comes with a cartridge converter, and it's actually a pretty big one. So you can fill it with some bottled ink. I have it inked up with Colorverse Walk the Dog. I think that's a nice pairing. And it's a really smooth writer. So this is one that I would put in my pen bag. I wouldn't be scared to take it to work. This one is getting a little more expensive. This is about $22 to $25, I think. So this is the most expensive of the beginner pens that I'm going to share today. So you've got, again, the cute little Jinh How Shark and the Pilot Preppy. And if you don't want to mess around with bottled ink, or you're just not there yet, go for the Preppy. It comes with its own cartridge. Whatever color pen you get is the color cartridge that comes with it. And you can buy replacements. The Kakuno, again, I think that it's a popular pen. People like it. It's not my favorite. And if you get the green one, just know you're getting the weird little baby face etching. And then finally the Twsbi Swipe, which is the most expensive of the four, and I really like it. The other two pens that I don't have in my possession that are popular is a Pilot Metropolitan, and they come in lots of different colors. I think fine and medium nibs. I don't think I've seen a broad Pilot Metropolitan, but might be out there. And they run about $22 to $25, so comparable to the Twsbi Swipe. And then the other pen that I actually have a few that I keep at work on my desk for kids to play with is the Pilot Varsity. And you can get a Pilot Varsity pack of different colors off Amazon. I think like a pack of 6 or something is like $16. So they are definitely inexpensive. It's a good option. So I'm going to talk just a minute about paper, because here's the thing. If you go and invest in a fountain pen and you want to get into the hobby and you get crappy paper, you are going to abandon the hobby because you're going to think, what the heck? Paper matters. So I did a little writing sample on 4 different types of paper. So I pulled this just out of one of those composition notebooks. This is a medium nib Twsbi. This is a stub Twsbi 580. And surprisingly, it actually held up pretty well. This blue ink is a nice, thin, manageable ink. It flows really nicely. But later in the day, I actually had to sign something for work, and I had that pen with me, and it was kind of this quality of paper. I signed my name, and it just bled everywhere. So a basic copy paper, again, I was pleasantly surprised with how well it held up. But again, I think it had something to do with the inks I was testing. This was a fancy piece of copy paper. And when I say fancy, it's like the HP, I don't know, some special number. I buy it from my art kids, and we do our color pencil work on it. Handled really nicely, both inks. And then finally, I just cut a tiny little piece of rhodia paper, which is one of our favorites. And this always is my go-to. I love rhodia paper. So if you're just starting out, getting a notebook with nice paper is going to benefit you, and it's going to make the hobby more enjoyable. This notebook is Fabriano, and we picked it up at a stationery store. I think I've seen these like at Craft Warehouse, probably Amazon. This is a grid, which is normally not my preference, but I think that was all they had in this cover, which I liked. This is a great starter one. This was $6.50, so not an expensive investment, and it's got 70 pages, 85 GSM, so a nice starter notebook. The next notebook I have is a rhodia dot pad, and we have these all over our office. We use these a lot in a lot of different sizes. Again, rhodia paper is one of my go-tos. I really like them. And Amazon has them. Not sure. This one was probably more close to like maybe $11. So you're getting up in price just a smidge. The next notebook I've talked about, I do all of my bullet journaling in Leuchtturm, and my fountain pens handle really well in this. All of my inks handle really well in this. So this is my go-to for bullet journaling. You can get these at Craft Warehouse, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, any of your pen retailers, and these are about $22, so getting up there a little bit more in price, but they are definitely worth it in my opinion. They're sturdy. There's 251 pages, and the paper really holds up nicely. And then lastly, the last notebook I'm going to share, this is a Hobonichi, and Hobonichi has Tomoe River paper, and this is a grid paper. Again, not my preference. I prefer dotted, but I really liked this notebook, so I ordered this. This was off Amazon, probably in the maybe $18 range to $20 perhaps. So Hobonichi is a good brand for getting some Tomoe River paper. And then the final thing I want to share is this dip pen. I have a handful of dip pens, and I struggle with them. I have not perfected use, and that's okay. But this, if you are just getting into the the hobby of fountain pens, and you want to explore inks and ink swatching, I would really encourage you to order one of these Speedball. They come in a pack, and this one is the B1. So I basically tossed all the other ones out, and I just use this B1 for ink swatching. And then you have to buy the nib holder separately because it's a little rubber thing and you just slide that nib right in there, and so you have to buy the nib holder separately. I got both of these off Amazon. I think this nib holder was like $8 or something like that. But it's really nice for swatching inks, and it puts down a lot of ink. I'll just show you quickly with this Frivolous Lime bottle that I have right here. And I did not start out swatching inks with this, and it was actually another YouTube channel that I watch that she swatched her inks with these, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's brilliant, because it just puts down so much ink, and you can kind of dab it and get your ink swatching done quickly instead of with a fine point dip pen. So, all right. That is all I'm going to share today. I feel like I kind of have talked a lot about these things. If you have any questions or you're interested in getting started in a fountain pen hobby, I would love to penable you and answer any of your questions. I will put links in the descriptions or in the description as best I can. And thanks for watching. Have a great day.